All right, everybody, back at it with another Masters match. So we're into the season now, a couple weeks into the season, and we are playing against a team. All these players are new to me. If you are new to the channel, make sure to like the video. It helps out a lot. If you like amateur pool, if you like commentary, if you like discussion about the mental game and emotional regulation and coping skills or anything like that, I try to incorporate that sort of thing here. So I'm playing against Brett and just getting to know Brett for the first time. And I win the lag. And so in the Masters format, you get to choose whether you want to have the first break shot or to choose the game between 8 ball and 9 ball. So Brett is a 6 in 8 ball and 9 ball, and he's a 520 something Fargo, as far as I can tell. So I take the break. I like to be in control of the table at the start of the match, and I'm not going to be bothered if we go with 8 ball or 9 ball. I'm going to be comfortable in both games. And if anything, and I've mentioned this in other videos before, some players will choose 8 ball to feel like, I'm going to kind of slow this down. I'm going to make sure to get more innings so that the opponent, if they play well, is not going to just kind of run out the set on me. Admittedly, that sort of thing doesn't happen a lot in Masters, at least not in my area, but I've been playing good lately. If you guys saw my previous video, you'll know that I've been shooting pretty well. So we're going to open with the solids here, and really the complication is going to be solving the 4 ball. The 1 and the 3 being up table here, you want to clean those up, but you could use either of those for a key ball. Really the 4 is the only kind of tricky part here. So do we use the 6 to get on the 4 right away? Yeah, probably. And then the 4 can take you towards the 2. We don't want to mess with the 10 ball too much. We push the 10 onto the 8, so it's frozen, but the tangent line is still going to draw us towards the side pockets, so that should still go. This match was a couple weeks ago now, so I remember some of the details, but not, shot for shot. In this case, it's tough because you really don't want to have to bridge over the 10. It's just awkward queuing, and you sacrifice so much accuracy that way. So probably, do we take a bit of a more challenging positional shot off the 2? We wanted to be a little bit farther in to play the 4, but I think we're just going to kind of, yeah, we know that our draw stroke is pretty accurate, and I practice drills a lot where I'm having to choose specifically how far I want to draw back from the ball, and then I set up, a long straight in shot, and I'm changing the distance between the cue ball and the object ball, so I like my accuracy on a draw stroke like that. This is the key shot here. You could easily come out and back, and I looked at, so yeah, kind of a straighter line. You could simply take this shot, except the cut on the 1, but I do know that with a little bit of spin, we'll be able to warp over and come up closer to the 1. So I think we're going to try to get cute here. Play that good with the spin. It's easy to overhit that one, especially with the spin, but this ended up really good, actually. We've got a clean look at the 1. You're always going to get shape on the 3, and you just have to make sure that you've got an angle off the 3 to come back down table and get below the 8, pretty much right where my chest is right now. So cheat the 1 over to the right-hand side of the corner pocket there. Perfectly workable angle, and now you can come off the 3 into this rail and down, or you can come into this rail and down. But really, like, this is your window, big open position window. We do want to use that rail to come down. Flirt with the side pocket, I guess. You play it safer and come into the top side rail. But nothing will settle you in like an opening break and run. Yeah, you see the nudge on the 10. I mean, the 8 was really sitting on it, so. I'm liking that second ball break. It's unfortunate. You want to be able to continue that run, but the table didn't want it. Some of the balls threaten the pockets here, but some good opportunities. We get our first look at Brett in this match. He's gonna claim stripes. A little touchy there. I think probably wanted a bit more of like an authoritative stop shot, but he's still fine. Jumps right into this 9-ball, so he's ready to go. Pretty consistent pre-shot routine, it looks like. You know, similar amount of strokes per shot. Gets a little funky between the 12 and the 10 here. I don't believe the 10 goes past the 8. So he may have to either go for a thin cut on the 12 or play safe. Does go for the cut. Cut works out. And pushing the 2-ball down into the cluster. The 13, 11, 14 situation really needs to be addressed, but he's just going to clear out this side of the table and move back down. Oh, it looked like it glanced the 5-ball just slightly. So now we have to try to address the 5 and the 1. And this cluster is tough. This is pretty standard 8-ball defensive play where you don't want to clear out the table. We've talked about that, right? You know, you don't want to go for the run out if there's no available run out. In my first game, there was an available run out, so I'm just gonna step on that. But getting out from here, it's tough with the 5-1 where they are. The 6-ball's playable to the top right, but the 7-ball doesn't go anywhere. Offense might not make sense here. Maybe we're lining up, just send the 5 into the 10. Take that option away. Make the 10. That could work. I think he's probably still got a good look at the 13. Not sure if he can cut the 13 into the 11 from where he is. He might actually have the 14. If he has the 14, he's in pretty good shape. Because you could play the 11 or draw back for the 13 from there. I might have sold out the 14, which is, I don't know if I even went around to look at that. He did play the 14, and he had a lot of room. It looked like he went rail first there, and the 14 goes in cooperating and opens things up. So he's got a really good opportunity here. He's just got to get clean shape on the 11. The 3-ball is going to interpose here, though, so we got to watch out for that. Yeah, we're always going to hit the 3-ball. It works out, though. He's got this 11-ball on the side. He's on the wrong side of the 11, though. The shot's not only missable, but there's no guaranteed position. I mean, if you really want to go offensive, playing the 11 into the top side and then trying to draw into the rail and back out, but he's queuing high, so he's trying to roll through the... which could have worked, but he gets super unlucky with the 2-ball rolling up between them. Man, that could have been a really nice out. Good way to level out the set, too. I mean, he was making good decisions here. So it's not jumpable. It's too far away, and the 1-ball's blocking. You got to kick at this. He's calling it in the top right. So he's going to try to go rail first into the 8. Still awkward queuing, though, to go over the 1. In Masters, you don't have to call your pocket. You don't have to mark your pocket, rather. You do have to call it, but... Those APA normal league habits die hard. And there's nothing wrong with marking your pocket, right? Nobody's going to... Oh, he decided to not mark his pocket. There's really no harm in marking it here, unless he thinks he's going to end up hitting it somewhere else. Yeah, so I think instead of trying to make it, which maybe it looks like the scratch is on in the bottom right, he's just going to focus on making a good hit. He's coming into the short rail first. Yeah. Good attempt. I don't mind that. The 8-ball's kind of big from down there. Yeah, maybe the idea was if he was coming around, if he's coming around the 2-ball here and he comes off the 8, maybe the tangent takes you close to the corner. Kind of hard to tell from here. But this is a great opportunity for us. Pretty open layout. Nothing super complicated. The 2's in the middle of the table, so kind of either use that as your key ball or address it early. It's one of those cases where there's just so many options that you can get overwhelmed, but it's just, almost unlimited number of ways to play this out. Looks like we're going 1-5-4-2. Pop back out for the 5. Make sure you've got an angle to pull back for the 4. Yeah, you can usually tell by my bridge length how comfortable I'm feeling. And in that previous video with the tournament, it just bit me on the one shot where I miscued. But I'm not losing any sleep over that stuff anymore, guys. That stuff used to really bother me, but I've been doing that mental work on just accepting results and take what the table gives you and do your best. And if you manage to enjoy yourself along the way, all the better for it. We don't like the 4 ball here, so maybe just because it's too steep of an angle. So take the 2 and pull back. The 4 ball makes a decent key ball. So probably the only idea now, it's getting a little jazzy. We're having to improvise a little bit, but we are taking the 4 ball now, definitely jazzing it up. The 6 doesn't look terrible from here, but we're just going to punch back across. 7 naturally gives you the 6. You do just have to make sure you get tidy on the 6 so that it leads you towards the 3. So choose a side, really, if you want to be above or below the 6. Yeah, and we're pulling out, but I think we got pretty neat shape on the 6 to where we can basically just roll down onto the top side of the 3. Leave a little bit of an angle on the 3. We had to spin it a bit. A little bit of an angle off the 3 to dive into the rail and then come back out above the 8. These are those natural runouts where, you set this up on your practice table, give yourself ball in hand, and you're pretty likely to get out. But the competitive pressure can get to you. See, even on that 3 ball, I'm not trying to get too cute. Like, I know that I'm going to be able to make the 8 if I use the far short rail. Yeah, long bridge, super comfortable, super smooth. The mindset's just really clicking in. Staying relaxed at the table. 8 ball's tracking, but it's not going to make it. And it's going to complicate things for solids. Stripes are still workable, but it does complicate things for stripes in the sense that if you make it down to the 8, it does not go past the 1. So yeah, the take what you make rule strikes again. I don't love going for the run out here. I think you're going to have to find a way to free up the 8. Maybe find a way to push the 8 in front of the 1. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking there at where on the rail the 8 would have to hit to end up blocking the 1. It's really tough. Because the 10 is close to the cluster up there, but it doesn't really get you much. I wonder if from here you could theoretically just play into the 10 and have the cue ball roll into the 1 to make it and then leave him up there. That might have been a pretty good shot. We're going to go safe. Simple safe. We don't need to be making balls yet. The 9 gets dirty in there with the 7, which is nice for us. We do sell out a shot on the 5, but we're basically just challenging Brett to do something with this mess. So he wants to get up there right away. Oh, he doesn't get a look at the 1, though. That's unfortunate. Speed was just slightly off there. I'm not sure if he wanted to get into the 1 ball to remove that now, because it's kind of a block. It is, it is a blocker. Sending the 4 ball straight down. That's a good shot. Those can be tough to judge, and you can sort of trick yourself sometimes with the 6, 7, and 9 kind of close to the rail, but he hit it pure. He's got a look at the 6. He can nudge the 9 ball away from the 7. Just a real soft touch would do it. Went a little firmer, but he's still okay. He's still got to look at the 7 ball and the 1 ball. But again, I don't think he really wants to play the 1. Doesn't seem like the 2 goes past the 14. So he may have to shoot the 7 and then try to get on the same side where he is now to play the 2 in the bottom right. Oh, he hit that pretty good. Just slightly undercut it. And blocks the 14. So that works out for him. So from here, do you just make the 1 ball? Like I was saying earlier, do you just go off the 10? You don't want to give up a shot on the 3, but if you do make the 1, maybe he's got to look at the 2. It could be make the 11 and then shoot the 10 into the 1. Because the 3 is always going to be blocked. That might be the play. We can't really do anything about the 14 ball right now. I don't mind that. Pretty much just simple stop shot if possible on the 11. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. I think that makes sense. Just shoot the 10 into the 1. Claim that cluster, basically. No, we're doing it right now. We're not even using the 11 to get cleaner on the 10. We're shooting the 10 right into it. It's riskier. I think like lower percentage. Hit it good though. So now he really can't do much with the 3. He could shoot the 2 goes, and it's possible to play the breakout on the 3 from here, but so risky. There's a chance of making the 8. I don't know if we would go for that. He's going into him though. Oh my goodness. Gets unlucky though. Just sort of double kisses itself back in trouble. Played a really good shot there though. I mean, he judged that angle perfectly. Is he just trying to thin this? Or is he getting the 3 ball out of there? Played it with some pace, so he wanted to move it out of there. Is it going to tie up the 9? It does to some extent. So, does the 10 ball go? Probably, right? It might be really tight, but it should go. And off the 11 ball, we could stun into the 9, like into the short rail and then back into the 9, or we could we could theoretically just go into the 14 from here. They're both tied up, so neither is great. You know, do you just consider a safe? Because he can't do anything with his 3 and the 7 where they are. Do we just like bank the 11 into the 14 and the 7? That's not bad. Oh, and I was trying to get into the 10 ball at the same time. Greedy. It works, though. Fortune favors me. So I cleared up the 10. The 10 has a big window now. And cleared up my 14 at the same time. The 11 is still fine. The 9's in trouble. But he doesn't have an open shot on either of his. This is that chess match stuff that comes up in 8-ball, and I love this stuff. The shootouts, the run-out contests, you know, that stuff is exciting. This is, to me, it feels like a very different dimension of pool. And I appreciate 8-ball for this. Oh, so he was just trying to make a good hit on the 3. A 10-ball's still makeable. Do we get the 9 out of there? Do you play off the 14 into the 9? I think you got to take the 10, because the 10 can't go past the 8 now. I think you have to make the 10 and then get shape on the 11 or the 14. We have to solve the 9, and then this is runnable. So just punching off here. Probably a little too thin on the 11 to draw into the 9 now. But the idea was to get close to center table so that we could draw off the 11 into the 9. The 14 is playable into the 9, I believe. High inside. Cut it kind of thin. You either come into the 9 or the 3, but I think ideally you hit the 9 and push it out for the side pocket or the corner. Yeah, into there. This should be hittable. These are worth practicing too, guys. You know, you just like set up a cluster somewhere on the table and set up a hanger. Give yourself ball in hand. But as long as we cut this right, we should be able to hit it. And it scratches. Ouch. All right. Spin took, but it took a little later than it needed to for me. I probably cut it too thin. So he could be good here. 3-7 or 7-3 would work totally fine because you play the 7 and then, you know, if you put the cue ball here, you play the 7 into the rail and bounce out a little bit. You've got the 3 in the side. Maybe getting shape on the 8's a little tougher from there. So just simple stop shot on the 3, leave the cue ball here, and then draw back out for the 8. I like that he's taking his time with this. You don't want to rush these. So he's able to just pinch off it a little bit there. Side pocket's big on this shot, so you really need to know if you're going low left, you really need to know how to compensate. Oh, man. Yeah, he really wanted to get above that side pocket. Those are deceptive sometimes, but he hit the 7 ball pretty well. I think probably just without enough spin. It was identical to a shot that I had earlier in the match. But those are deceptive. I mean, you're having to compensate for the deflection, and you're basically aiming to miss. So it's straightforward 3-ball out for me. But again, don't relax too much on these. Get tidy on the 11. Really just draw back to center table and then draw off the 11, or even stop shot on the 11. Or you be a dingus and cross the shot line. So now I'm popping right into it, though. We're going to have to force follow. Yeah. That stings. So basically just cross the shot line on the 11. I got past the zone where I needed to be to give me the natural angle to come off the 11 that sends you towards the 8. And because I was on the wrong side, I was going to have to try to force follow off the 11 down into the short rail and come back up table, which is playable, but the odds of missing it go way high. So Brett grabs that one because I dressed up. Nice position on the 8-ball for him. So, don't love those. But a dry break puts us right back on the table. Nice opening shot on the 15. The 9-13 is a little funky if we claim stripes. You could claim solids by taking the 4-ball here, but it's a little more missable. It is just more missable than the 15. And then I think without being down table, the 6-3 could get a little weird. I don't mind taking the 4-ball to open up, and then maybe you play the 5-2-6-3. Stripes are runnable here, though. I think the 9-13 is the most complicated aspect of it. So you come out and around here for... Where are we going? 14? We're coming all the way up table. 14 was going to be there for us. So play the 14 light and get on the 10. But we still have to figure out the 9-13. And the 12 and the 11 are tough because you really have to be over here for the 12 and the 11. Can we get there from the 14? The 13 might be makeable on the side. Okay, that's not a bad shot. Overplayed it a little bit. Like you really wanted to be in here, but I think because we were so steep on the 14, we had to drill it a little bit. So we play the 12. The combo's there, but missable. And then you would have to rely on just getting shape on the 13 afterwards. Yeah, I overrolled it for the 12, so I don't want to shoot that. Nine helped us out. But the 13's weird now. And we don't have a look at the 10. We don't have a look at the 12 or the 11 either? Did we hook ourselves? Might have did. Of all the places. Yeah. I don't have a good look at anything. That's a shame. I'm gonna have to. Am I gonna like try to kick this 10 ball in or something silly? I am gonna try to kick this 10 ball in. It's close to the rail, so it's makeable, but still, you really shouldn't have to do this. Too missable, man. That was kind of weird. So Brett gets a look. He's solids. He can cut this one ball in. That's probably his best opening shot. He's got his work cut out for him here, guys. Five's almost dead in the center of the table. So there's lots of pockets for it, but it is a little tough to get clean on, positional line for that 5. So kind of thins that one in and sends himself down here to the bottom right. I don't know if that was really the intention or if he just wanted to get on the 5 in the top side. Because he's not in a great spot now. The 4 might go, but still. Yeah, this is a tricky layout. Nice. It's a good play. Still, I mean, this is tough. It's getting tougher. You can play the 2. I think you got to play the 2. And then maybe you have the 6 or the 3. But this is one of those where you just feel like you're shooting yourself into a corner. Especially because I don't think the 7 goes. You really don't want to have to play short side on the 7, like make it in the bottom left or something. He's going after the 3. He did have the 3. Oh, but he overcut it. If the 3 had gone, he's still in a tough spot. I wonder if going for the 2 instead, maybe stopping yourself on the 11-12, you'd have to roll it in. Nobody wants to do it from distance, but if you do that, then you're starting to get back in line. I don't know that the 3 ball really would have availed him a good line. So you got to take your 12 ball here. And then you've got the 10 to back you up, but we got to clear the 11. And the 13 is still gross, but I do believe it goes on the top side. Put a good stroke on that. Nice and smooth. We get tidy shape on the 10. So we're going to have, this is tough. We're going to have to get not only clean on the 13, but yeah, we need to end up on a line where it's going to take us towards the 11, and the 6 ball's huge. Anywhere up here is no good. Anywhere in here is no good. You're going to have to make the 13 in the side and then roll or spin. Spin off the 7. This is a really, yeah. This is a tricky out. Ambitious, we'll say. Because we're still too flat. We're on the wrong side of the 13. We're going to have to use the 7, which means we have to spin through it. So right-hand spin here. As you hit the 7, you're able to kind of drive through that ball. The right-hand spin helps you sort of curve off the 7. If you make it to the rail, the spin, if there's still spin left, is going to take you down table. That's the only way to get out of this. Unless you want to cross bank it. And I'm long bridging it. Spicy boy today. Hit it good. Got there. You had to go pretty full into the 13. So some force follow actually was something I didn't think about to punch through that ball. And we get on the proper side of the 11 to be able to get back up for the 8 and top side. That'll do. That'll do. Don't scratch. Oh, come on. What is this game? The karma in this game. I did a cool thing. Let me keep playing. Can't have it. So open after the break, but he's got to shoot from the kitchen. Cannot shoot at the 1, 4, and the 10. While we're waiting, don't forget to like the video. Thank you for doing that. It's good to get more videos out there. This Master season's been really good so far. There's some really good competition in this field. I'm glad to have changed divisions. It's tough to say goodbye to some people. Like I had some really good friends up there in that other division, but it's good to change things up. He's cutting the 15. Might not have had a better opening shot on the stripes. Good shot. Don't scratch, Brett. Oh no. Well, ball in hand now, and oh, I remember this layout. I don't remember specifically what I do here, but I do remember this being a little odd. Because claiming stripes would be nice. You don't want to have to mess with the 1, 4. The 1 is playable, but the 4 ball is kind of weird. So your options are limited there. Do you take the combo on the 14, 13? I think that's what I end up doing. The 12 is always going to take you to the 10, so you don't need to think about those. But the 11 is in a weird spot. It's close enough to the 7 that you could threaten a bad hit. But you have to get the 14 out of there. So do you open with the 11, nudge the 7 into the 14, knowing that you have shape on the 13? That's probably the play with ball in hand. I don't think this is terrible, and I played it well, but we've got a little bit of an angle on the 14 ball here, and I don't know if we can hold it for where we need to be on the 11. Is the 11 playable from here? That's the thing. I look at it, if the 11's playable from here, then you just go 14, 12, 10. No, but I think I get down on this, or yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's like, it's a little weird. It would almost be a split. I just don't want to risk a bad hit. It looks like it goes, but it might not. So I just try to bank this, which I don't love. It could go, but yes, that's silly. Just sold that out. Bad decision. And I definitely did not take my time. Once I decided what I wanted to do, I just jumped into that bank shot. Tough for Brett, though. I mean, maybe he can make the 5 past the 10. Off the 10. Clears out the 1, but the 4 is in a tough spot now. He's got to look at the 6 or the 3. We just don't want to give away too many chances here. That last pattern was runnable. And I'm not going to be super upset about that. But with a reasonably open table and ball in hand, so he's got to get below the 7 here. Just kind of, yeah, just roll over. This one's touchy. The 11 and the 12 are pretty big. He might be able to just stun over for the 2, but then you're welcoming the top side. And then after the 2, like getting shape on the 1? I don't know. Yeah, the 12 ball. It's a big ball. He's running out of options. Bank the 2, cross corner, and get back up towards the 1. He's taken the 1, so maybe he's just going safe. Put me behind the 10. Yeah, so he just puts me in the hole up there. He's basically challenging me to move the 10. Probably the best play is just to roll into the 11 and leave him down table. Or the 12. Yeah, that works. We don't want to move our 10. Oh, we made that. Okay. That's a small pocket from way over there. We hit it good, though. Like, we hit it at a pretty nice speed. So, the 410 is hittable from here, but maybe awkward queuing over the 14. So do we just play the 14 first, get a little tidier on the 11, and then do the breakout from there? You're saving your problem ball till last, which we all know is not ideal, but we don't have a lot of other options. And certainly playing the breakout from the 11 now, you're not guaranteed a shot on the 10. And then getting shape from the 10 to the 14, you have no idea what that's going to look like. So I think taking the 14 makes sense here. A little stretchy. Came out pretty far, but luckily this is a big angle. It's a big angle from most spots as long as you're down table. We're not down table. We almost overhit that such that we're on the wrong side of the 11, but this is still workable. You can draw into this, just clean off the 11, which normally I like to do. You could also draw off it and come into the rail first. I'm looking at it kind of straight in. You could also come into the 11 and send the cue ball out and around, following through it, but a little harder to judge, at least for me. So I usually, yeah, I'm gonna cue like I want to draw into this. Get a little, oh, it was a good attempt, man. To come pretty full into the 4 ball. I think that's a good way to play it. To use this rail, come into the 4 ball, knock the 4 ball out of the way, and then open the pocket. Now you just got to make a good hit. Going offensive here is tough. Cross side's on, but cue ball control's difficult for me on that kind of shot. And it's a low percentage shot to begin with. I might just send it though, and if I get a look at the 8, take what I can get. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna try to bank it. Not bad. Probably the wrong speed. Are we blocking the 2 ball? Didn't give up anything easy except an easy safe, I would say. So Brett can pretty easily put me in trouble. Probably just roll the 4 ball and the cue ball to the top long rail. That's probably the simplest. Yeah, it's a good play. There's a lot of space for that 4 ball. And with those, you know, we've talked about, am I thinking about controlling the cue ball or the object ball? This one sort of either works. I look at the jump, kind of scouting it out, but it's a long jump, and you'd have to try to land, yeah, getting past the 4 or maybe even landing on the 10. Don't love that. The rail first is there. The 10 ball is very hittable. Kicking into it is very hittable. The rail first might even be makeable, but looking at the tangent, could scratch, I guess. Yeah, I may not love that. So I'm just looking at rail first. Just sort of above the side. Maybe spin into this guy a little bit. I think natural angle is on. I don't think the 4 ball's blocking us. I think I went thin side because I was hoping to make it in the bottom right. Rat could go safe here too. Banking the 4 ball. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to make that cross corner. I guess it's a two-way, right? You know, you don't make it, you're leaving the cue ball up there. I don't have a good look at the 10. He's just got to keep me away from that 10 ball. This is hittable. He might have even given me a look at it, though. I don't think I have to kick at it. I'll just leave the cue ball down there. Just try to go simple safe. Yeah. Don't need to complicate it, I guess. It's hard to get safe from there. Brett can get safe pretty easily from here, though. Yeah, just come off the 1. I'm going to run out of options here. This is that chess match thing, like I said, right? I mean, you got to outthink your opponent. 10 ball might still be hittable. Kicking at it on the top rail. It's a little weird going between the 2 and the 4, but that might be the natural path anyway. Let's measure it out because we don't have this memorized yet. You could make this too. If I aim a little thinner, you could make it. I'm going full into it. It's a good hit, man. It's that system. It's that 1 rail kick system. Does he have to go safe here again? Just go easy into the 4? I'm not giving him great offensive options, so he probably does. Puts the 4 close to the 10, but there's a window. I've got an edge on the 10, and I might even have a makeable edge on the 10. Don't trick yourself, man. I've been tricking myself on these guys. These need practice. I need to, like, focus less on the aim point and more on just a straight delivery. Not only do I foul, but I almost pocketed the 8. All right. It's all right. Putting up a good fight. Giving up ball in hand on an open table. That is not the way. Yeah, he's just got to make sure the 1 takes him to where he wants to be on the 4. It's pretty flat on the 1, but he should be able to still roll up on it. Probably just play short side at this point. Yeah, he was pretty flat on it. It's looking good. Nice and easy. Cool. Good finish. Yeah, you love to see that. Yeah, outplayed me there. You know, I had a couple good chances. You got to hit that 10 ball. But here we go again with another swing. You know, he closes out a rack and he puts me clean on the 1 ball. What we really need to do is take and run out this table and just get the momentum back in our favor because it's 3-2, guys. Stop the bleeding. Let's just put some more games on the board. Spicy boy. Let's get really close to the 2. I don't mind it. Because I think you come pretty full into the 2 ball here, just drawing back up again for the 3. Staying enough below the 3 that it takes you towards the 4. Okay, we're on the wrong side of the 3, but it's probably still fine. Oh no, we might be straighter on it than I can see here. Just come to the top rail. Yeah. So this is another thing that I've been thinking about more recently is your feel-good stroke. Just hitting with a repeatable, consistent speed. Not even just about a consistent process overall, but your stroke speed seeming very similar between all types of shots. There's probably something to that. So we're just coming out and around here, right? Roll into the 7 or something. Roll into the 7. Might as well. Makes the 7 a little dirtier though, because now it's harder to get shape from the 6 to the 7 in the top left corner. We're okay on the 5. We should just be able to pinch back. Yeah, because we're on the top side of the 5, so it's naturally going to want to send you this direction. I just have to decide if I want to be below the side pocket or above the side pocket. If you overhit it, it's going to track this way. So you want to try to control your stroke. Basically, you just have to decide where you want the 7. If you're going to try to get on the 6 so that it takes you to the 7 in the top left. I overhit this. It's fine. You know, I played into a safe area. But I think I loosened up a little bit on that one in terms of my specific window where I wanted to be on the 6, but I'm going to be able to shoot myself out of this. I kind of like these two, so I'm going to kind of punch this into the side, and I'm going with a little bit of inside, a little bit of right-hand spin, so when it hits the short rail, it curves towards the 7. Yeah, I like to hit those. We're flat on the 7, we're pretty flat on it, but I also, if I'm feeling good, which today I was, it looks like, I am going to punch this, run the 7 down the rail, and the cue ball's just going to come off the rail for the 8. Yeah. It's a good stroke. And the mechanics were there. I stayed down for a long time. Natural shape on the 9. It's just speed control to come into the 3rd diamond on the bottom right long rail. Oh, I'm going to overhit this a little bit, though. We're fine. So just stay level and claim this game. Like to see that. But you can't follow it up with a break and run because you get hooked after the break. I don't love pushing from here because you're basically just going to be challenging your opponent to make a safe. I'm going to play safe by kicking at the 1. I'm going to hit the short rail, push the 1 past the 4, and then leave the cue ball behind the 4. This is potentially pretty nasty. Good speed. Get on the rail. All right. You just don't want to underhit that. That would have been bad. It's a good way to open up. I don't love pushing if you can avoid it. If you have an option, why would you turn over the table to your opponent? You know, I guess in some cases, okay, you turn it over because you're challenging them to potentially do something silly. There's a strategy behind that, certainly. But when you can lock your opponent up in this way and give yourself a much better chance of getting ball in hand, rather get ball in hand. Got a long rail kick. This is very hittable. Oh, bad luck. That's unfortunate. Okay. Can we punish him for this? Shaping the 2 in the side's not too hard, but I think also float out towards center of the table and just play for the top right corner makes sense. Because then the shape from the 3 to the 4 is a little more natural. It's a good play. Just make sure you get into that window, get to the line. Oh, we underhit it. This is still makeable, but it's way harder than it needs to be. Because now you have to avoid the side pocket. You have to try to get to the top left long rail and back out, which is hard to control and makes the 2 ball missable. And I don't know if from here I could even get to the right-hand side of the long rail. I'm going to have to try to draw off this. Oh man, I didn't miss it by that much, but I had plenty of room. Turn it back over. Brett's got to capitalize here to stay in the game. Nice. Guaranteed position on the 3 there. Good speed, just close to center table. Does he take short side on the 4? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Just simplify it. And now you can just roll out natural angle for the 7 in the top right. Maybe a little bit of follow to open up the angle a little bit. But pretty natural here. He's powering up though. He went low outside, which works. He's got the 7 in the bottom right. Yeah, I don't mind that. Window's a little smaller, I'd say, than the top right, but still workable. You just kind of pinch off the 7 ball here, stay above the 8. Yeah, he's making it look good. And you just settle here. It's working. Oh, he took a minute to look at it. He did make that one. Just a mistake in editing that I cut that. Oh boy. So this 2-9 is looking tantalizing. You don't have to do much here, right? You're just making the 1. The better you can get on the 2, the higher your chances, but you could overplay this too. Oh, we're coming too far. Oh, man. I remember that shot. I think sometimes you just feel like you're guaranteed to get your position, so you let it go a little too much. Two ball cooperates. Close to his work on the 3, but he can still just pop over. He could even just hold it there if he wanted to play short side on the 4 again. But yeah, he doesn't mind that. Thin on the 4, but it takes you naturally to the 5. These can get a little squiggly though. You don't want to spin this out. Oh, he overcut it. Almost make the 9. Don't do that to me. All right. 4 is deep in the jaws here, and if it were a little bit farther out, you could pretty naturally come around for a 3 rail position on the 5. But I remember looking at this for a minute because it was so deep in the pocket that I didn't want to risk hitting it so thin that the natural follow would kill the cue ball on this side of the 5. I think I just accept a cut on the 4 to come out and then accept a long cut on the 5. I think I just keep this one simple instead of trying to come all the way around. Yeah, looking at it from here, the top left doesn't seem too bad, but I just don't know if you would want to risk getting stuck on the top rail. If you did, you could play safe, right? If the cue ball's right up by the 4, you just sort of come off the 5 and put them in behind the 9. That wouldn't be too bad. I look at rail first. I hadn't discussed that, but I do look at rail first, and the problem is it's just so deep in the pocket. If you guys have played on the diamond tables before, you know how deep that shelf is. I don't think you mess with it. I think you just make the ball and come out slightly. That's pretty good. I mean, I came out more than I thought I might try for. And this 5 is still makeable. You just come down and back. Thin cut, maybe a touch of outside to get a little straighter on the 7, but you really don't even need to be that straight on the 7. Wow, cut that really thin. Yeah, we overcut that so much that it went to the left side of the pocket. So from here, you just come out and back and get on the short side of the 8. You could probably, I'm feeling spicy, so I could see myself trying to do one of these. It's a lot of cue ball movement, but I remember this shot though. Look how weird that took with the hand flip. So I mishit that, and the way that happened is instead of cueing low right, I unintentionally hit slightly left, and the left spin caught on the rail and took me down table instead of up table. That could be symptomatic of just feeling a little too loose, relaxing a little too much, or my bridge length was a little too extreme for that shot. Just lost some accuracy on my tip position. This is still hittable, luckily. we're going to have to hit this guy because you do not want to be giving up this game and letting Brett tie it up. So we at least need to make a good hit, maybe with some pace in the hopes that something happens. Oh, something almost happened. A lot of things almost happened. And we catch a bit of a roll. So lots of distance. And I don't know if he's going to attack the cut here. It's a very challenging cut. Big ask from this far away. He could try to bank it. Getting safe is tough here. I think he tries to bank it, though, if I remember correctly. Lots of pace. It almost tightens up enough to go. And he leaves me across table with a look at the 8 and a makeable shot. I don't mind putting inside on these, as you guys know. I love me some inside. I could see attacking this high left and just come out and back for the 9. It's about all you need. You really don't want to overplay that and risk missing the ball. It's a good finish. Caught a roll. Give me a look at that one ball. And make everything. All right. Is this the shape of a 9-ball break and run, potentially, to put us on the hill? I would take that. I look at a stop shot, but I'm too spicy. I'm going to probably draw this. Look at him go. I'm going to draw this all the way up table. Yeah, I mean, sure. Stop shot would have been fine, probably. Maybe position's a little trickier from the 2 to the 3, but now long, pretty straight in shot on the 2. Naturals, pretty much natural stop shot to get on the 3. I guess this is better. Long bridge, dude. I'm feeling myself today. Pinching back just a little bit. Natural shape on the 7, so you're just going to roll through the 3, get on the top side of the 7 here. So here's your shot line. You want to kind of be over here so you can roll through and down and back for the 8. That's what I went to look at. But it's natural shape. The cue ball wants to roll through this 3. Really don't have to do much to get tidy on the 7. Played it a little full, so now we're not going to be using the rail. We're probably just going to stun down for the 8. But I do not care. I'm just going to get down there. Ugh. We don't need to risk a scratch, though. And now we're straight on the 8. But I don't care. I'm just going to take what the table gives me and get out. Just say I don't care about that. I'm also going to hammer it in, get a little bit of draw. It's working. This is, I mean, you just got to bear down on this one. And this is, I settled. I took my couple seconds to settle. Play this with authority, nice and easy. Make the ball. That's the game right now. That's where I want to be. Good solid hit. 1 ball goes. But you can't have a look at the 2 ball because you're not going to be allowed to continue the run. Playing pool. I want to start putting some packs together, man. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to the point. With this winner breaks format, I want to get some packs this season. No spoilers, but I will say in one of my upcoming matches, I threaten a pack. I'm not going to say whether I get it or not, but Make a good hit on the 2. This is another example, right? Like, the 2 is very hittable. There's no need to push. Just make a good hit. Maybe something happens. Or you get lucky, like I do, and you get safe. So he can make a good hit on the 2, but not much is going to happen here unless he fabricates a 2-4 combo off the kick. Good hit. And put me behind the 9. Nope, not quite. Just thin cut on the 2? Not seeing it yet. Yeah, I tried to make it. We're catching a roll. Gross. We don't need all these rolls. Definitely blocked him behind the 7, right? He can't shoot between the 7 and the 8. He's probably going to have to kick at this again. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking to. So you kick off the top long rail. Maybe you get in under the 2. It's sort of a kick and stick situation. Leave the cue ball by the 5. I think you just need to make a good hit. Oh, it's close. Super close. So I'm looking at where I want to be on the 3, what I just laid down with my cue, where I want to be on the 3 to get on the 4. I'm constantly thinking about it that way. It's basically 3 shots at a time. My first shot, getting me on my second shot, specifically where I want to be to get on that third shot. And then as I make shots, I'm shifting ahead. And this is something else that I've mentioned on the channel where instead of using draw to come towards the 3, I use follow when I have the option because I like to see where I'm going. It's a little more natural. From here, I think we're just accepting a long cut on the 4, come off the left short rail, and play for the 5 in the side. We're kind of on the wrong side of the 3, so we just have to accept a bit more of a cut on the 4, but this is still natural. I mean, the 4 is very makeable. Follow through this ball, maybe a touch of inside to straighten it out, but you just want to get down below the 5. This is your position window for the 5. Even overplaying it to get too low on the 5, you're still going to be fine. You can come out and back for the 6, which I'm going to have to do because I overplayed it slightly. But I don't think that's going to be a problem based on the way we're hitting them today. Take a straight line down and back. Yeah. I'll probably I can get really neat on the 6. I can see me getting pretty straight on it. So that's kind of slightly low on the cue ball, slight right hand spin on the cue ball to straighten it out. And we're just going to pinch off this a little bit to get kind of straight on the 7. Overplayed that a hair, but we're still okay. Nice and smooth follow shot to come onto the long rail and back out for the 9. Clean play. Sweet. Thanks for checking me out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this match. It's been a really good Master season so far, like I said. Good competition out there. Props to Brett. Thanks for playing the match with me, and lots of good back and forth. And yeah, Brett was really doing it, really making good decisions out there. Some of the rolls were, just kind of not in his favor, but it's always going to happen. And yeah, thanks again to all of you guys for checking this out. Remember to like the video and comment and subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and I will see you all in the next one.